Yeah, wake the hell up. Charts ain't waiting and neither am I. It's BC Pork Corp, and this is Good Morning Crypto. Let's run it. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Yeah, I'm up before sunrise, no snooze on my plays. Whales still dreaming, I'm setting my trays. I ain't here for likes, I ain't here for clout. I'm here for that check when the trend breaks out. I spit blocks, hash rates, having dates. Got alpha in my veins, no time for fakes. SEC lurking, but I move like a ghost. Mixing TA and game, call me the host. This my show, this my tone, this my throne. Good morning crypto, I stand alone. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Perpetual swinging, I'm a beast with the size. TA tight like the laces I tie. MACD crossing, I'm pressing that go. And my fib line stretching like it's crypto dope. Ain't no banker ever taught me this wealth. I learned from red days, had to fight for myself. Now I'm dropping fire before the coffee drip. Crypto cooking on its breakfast shift. Every candle's a warning, every flash a test. But I lace up my plays and I trade like the best. One room's made for legends, not snoozers and sheep. This for the wolves who watch charts while they eat. This for the ones who said crypto's a scam. Now I'm paying my bills with a cold wallet jam. Salute to the grinder, salute to the bold. Good morning to those who ain't buying what they sold. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Wake up, read the charts, read the game, then run it. Good morning crypto, Pork Corp out. Wake up, read the charts, read the game, then run it. Good morning crypto, Pork Corp out.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in financial freedom. Today, I've got no headlines. I wanted to go over some assets this morning. We've been seeing a little bit of a mixed bag over on the TradFi side. We got to an entry on a stock I talk about over and over again, and that's OKLO. We will get to that chart here in just a little bit. If you have any alt requests or any TA requests you would like me to go over, go ahead, drop them in the chat now, and we will get to those in just a little bit. But before we get to all of that, let's get you prepped for some success today. Let me get OKLO on that list real quick and see what's going on this morning. Because, like I said, we've got a little bit of a mixed bag here. We've got Apple up 0.1%, we've got Nvidia down 0.57, was sitting a little heavier to the downside, but it is seeing a little bit of buying pressure stepping on in this morning. We've got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.1%, Amazon sitting up 0.2. We've got Eli Lilly down 0.2. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.08. We've got Tesla sitting down 0.65% this morning. P&G sitting up 0.3%. We've got Microsoft down 0.29. We've got Google down 0.38. And we've got Meta up 0.58. For the crypto side of things, we're also looking just a little bit mixed. We've got some nice red bubbles, some nice green bubbles as well. Scrolling on down here, we've got a little bit of green here on the hourly. We will have to take a look at some alts here because they might get a little bit of a move towards the upside. We've got Bitcoin down 1.7%. We've got Ethereum down 1%. We've got XRP up 2.5%. We've got BNB down 0.3%. We've got Solana down 2.1%. We've got Tron sitting down 0.4%, Dogecoin sitting down 0.1%. We've got Cardano down 1.2%, Chainlink down 1.4%. We've got Hyperliquid down 2.8% this morning. We've got Bitcoin Cash up 1.3%, continuing to see some green on the hourly. We've got Stellar Lumens up 1.4%. We've got Leo token down 1.2%. We've got Litecoin down 1.6%. We've got HBAR losing 2 spots in the market cap, sitting down 3.5%, and SWI is sitting down 2.3%. We've got those fear and greed meters still looking a little bit nice. For the stock side, we're sitting in some light fear. We're making our way back towards the upside here after we're getting some decent news from the federal government. We've got the crypto side looking pretty nice if you want to do some buying on a decent project. Don't go too far down that risk curve. We've got crypto in extreme fear sitting at 15, down 9 points. Getting on over to that liquidation heat map, we've still got a little bit of liquidity towards the upside. Let's get it adjusted to how we like it. There we go, 0.8. That's where I can see the ranges just a little bit better there. We've got some liquidity sitting directly above us at 104,500, ranging all the way down to 104,100. Nice little range directly above us. We're starting to see just a little bit more liquidity piling up towards the downside, so we will have to see if we can hold some key levels like we did yesterday, or if we're going to get that move below some key levels and grab up some bottom side liquidity. This 3 days looking quite nice as well for a move towards the upside. As you can see, we grabbed up quite a bit of that bottom side liquidity there. We are getting another little hot spot towards the bottom side. Starts at 100,600 and goes all the way down here to 99,500. But for the top side, we've still got a broad range of liquidity to keep our eye on. That's starting at 105,400, ranging all the way up to about 106,300. Nice little hot spot on the top side if we can continue to hold some levels here. We do have this 2-week also looking quite similar as yesterday, but we do still have that liquidity on the bottom side to kind of keep your eye on here. A very, very hot range towards the downside at 98,900 all the way down to 97,600. But we've also got that liquidity towards the upside to keep our eye on as we've continued to hold some levels we've talked about before, making those higher lows. We just need to get above our local resistance, and we can get that move up here and grab our liquidity at 107,500 all the way up to 108,800. Quite a bit of liquidity towards the upside. We will have to keep our eyes on our ranges, because we've got quite a few that we need to get above first before we can make our way all the way up there, start grabbing up that liquidity. As Jesse said, yes, we've got quite a bit of liquidity, and we do need to free it on up so we can make a move in one direction or another. We've got plenty of people in the chat here this morning. We've got a few lurkers as well, so good morning to all of you. We've got Al Jr. coming on in here. Good morning to you. We've got Donato Cabrera in the house. We've got Ivan Belarus. We've got Jay Violet in here. Good morning to you. Let's scroll it on up. We got Jay in the chat. We've got Curtis Hill as well. Good morning. We've got Ada Ace in here. Good morning. Looks like that's about it for now. Oh, we've got Redmond sign on in just as we are about to get to that Bitcoin chart. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're having a great day so far. Let's get into this Bitcoin chart, because we were talking about a level towards the downside that we could potentially see if we rejected off of 106,100, and that was 101. That is where we held even on the shorter time frames. We do have quite a bit of a slow up on some of this selling pressure here, and we're just waiting to see if we can start getting some momentum again. We do have that liquidity towards the upside, but that 106,100 is going to be our local resistance. It is also a high term time frame point of control from back here, so kind of keep your eye on that area. We will need to get above the 382. That was the area we talked about yesterday as our resistance. That was 105,100. We'll have to see if we can make our way back up to that area this morning, and we will need a bunch of buying pressure to step back in if we want to get up to that point. We do have our volume continuing to increase here, so we will keep our eye on that money flow as this volume increases to see if we can get that buying pressure to overwhelm some of that selling pressure. Let's get on into that 4 hour there. 4 hour also looking quite bottomy here. We've got that reversal signal flashing, a bottoming signal flashing back here, and we're just waiting for that money flow to start bleeding over into the higher term time frame. Let's get this pulled on up so you can see it a little bit better. Look at this slowdown on the sell off there. Quite a bit of a slowdown as we were in some heavy selling pressure as we were getting those moves towards the downside. We're almost back to that zero line now. So what we want to see here is that bleed over of the money flow into the higher term time frames here. We will probably need to get above that 105,100 to really start seeing that bleed over from the shorter term time frame to the higher term time frame. So keep your eyes on that. We are getting a little bit of a bounce this morning off of the top side of that fair value gap. We've been calling that one out for a while now. We got a lot of play on the midline and the 236 there. Now looking like we're continuing to make those higher lows, and we just need to make those higher highs. So got a bit of sideways momentum coming on in here on the hourly, as we are ranging a little bit sideways on top of that fair value gap this morning. We'll have to see if we can get that money flow coming on in. We are in the red here on the money flow this morning, so we do need that bleed over from the shorter term time frame into this higher term time frame here. We do have the oscillators nice and cooled off. We are starting to get that increase of volume. Like I said, on the higher term time frame, we want that increase of volume to come with buying pressure and not just be that increase of volume with the continuation towards the downside as the bears overwhelm the bulls. If we want to see some continuation towards the upside there, I am looking to hold a 102,300. That is the top side of that fair value gap. That'd be a nice little area to watch for some bouncing this morning on the shorter term time frame. Let's get over to that 15-minute for you. As you can see, we've been ranging quite sideways here in the London session. We are just waiting for that move directly below, really clear out that liquidity, and then we could get that push back towards the upside there. We are nice and bottomed here on the 15-minute. We're starting to get that nice green money flow, but we are losing just a little bit of volume. Not too unexpected, as we are in that second half of the London trading session. We're just waiting on that New York open here. We've got that MACD range and sideways here as well. Really waiting on some money flow to come on in this morning. We'll have to see if we can get that nice little bounce off of the 3.8, off of that top side of the fair value gap to push back up towards that 3.82. Because New York yesterday got that rejection off of the 3.82, and we got that bounce off of our strong support area. So definitely have a few levels to kind of keep our eye on this morning. That top side of the fair value gap would be the first area I would kind of look for some bouncing this morning, especially with how cooled off everything is looking. We might get a little more sideways momentum in the dull area of our London session. So just waiting for that New York open to really see if we can get that strong money flow coming on in. I do see a few alt requests this morning. We got AIG coming from A to Ace. Jesse is wanting to see that as well. Let's see, we got any other alt requests this morning or some TA requests for some stocks, because we can definitely do it all over here. We've got Mike Sorry about that. Aiello Jr. coming on in. Your picture is covering the bottom right of your chart. Oh, sorry about that. Normally I get it moved over just a little bit more. Yeah, here we go. You can see that prime oscillator running it a little bit sideways here. And that money flow looking nice and green. The volume has slowed up just a little bit, so we're just waiting on that New York session. That is what gave us that strong move towards the downside yesterday. Looking for that opposite move today. We're looking for that nice little continued cool off, bounce off of the top side of that fair value gap 103, and get that push up to 105. So Bitcoin above 103K, looking like we're ranging a little bit sideways on top of that fair value gap to get that nice little move towards the upside and some continued cool off there. Get that sweep below the lows of the London session at 102,600. So we are looking for that 102,300 to be our little bit of a bouncing zone. If we can't hold that, we've got 101 coming back in as our support area. We got a lot of bouncing off of that yesterday, and we'll see if we can hold that again today. We do have a few other requests coming on in. Solana, we've got ENA requested as well, so let's get Solana on that list. Let's get Adina, there we go. Got that one on the list as well. If you've got any other requests for me to take a look at, go ahead, throw them in the chat for me. We did want to take a look at gold. We were talking about that yesterday. We had a resistance area directly towards the upside that we were keeping our eye on. That was 4,155. That was an area that was resistance from way back here, and we were looking to see if we could get that break towards the upside. We got that break towards the upside, moved through it extremely quickly. Let's get that on the 4-hour here so you can see that fair value gap that we will need to keep our eye on. That fair value gap is quite a bit of a range here. We got a little play off of the top side there with that move back towards the upside. You can see those nice equal candle bodies on top of it. Let's get that lock so we don't accidentally move it there. You can see we held that top side quite nicely, got a little bit of a continuation towards the upside there, and now we're waiting to see if we can get that continuation of some money flow. Things are looking a little bit green here on the 4-hour, and we will have to see if we can get that continuation of money flow on the shorter term time frame that bleeds over into the higher term time frame. Prime oscillator just turned green, but it is ranging a little bit sideways here. So to see a little bit of some pullback on the shorter term time frame is not too unexpected. Our support for now is going to be $4,192, and then we would see if we can make our way up to 4,382. This is also a fair value gap from the daily. We won't get that drawn on out for now. But we are seeing just a little bit of continuation moves here on the hourly. We are getting that curvature back towards the upside on our prime oscillator. We are looking at some green money flow with that volume increasing as well. We will kind of have to see if we can get that to curve back towards the upside here, or if we're going to get that secondary bounce on top of our fair value gap and then try to get a little continuation. That would cool off those oscillators just a little bit more there. We are ranging a little bit sideways on that MACD. As you can see here, we're trying to hold that indicator line here as that money flow is trying to hold the zero line. So let's get that over to the 15-minute and the morning. I'm assuming that's nice and cooled off just like Bitcoin was, but it is sitting in the red here. You can see we got that nice inflow of money coming in on the shorter term time frame, and it has been slowing up quite heavily, but it is holding that zero line here. So a little bit of cool off would not be too unexpected. We do have that nice support directly below us that we called out on that higher term time frame. We are making some equal highs there as well, so we'll kind of have to see if we get that sweep of equal highs and then that push back towards the downside, as that MACD is getting some curvature sitting below our indicator line. We're just waiting for that next little push of money flow to come in to sweep the highs and then a push towards the downside. We do have an area of support above that fair value gap top that you can keep your eye on as well. Let's get the horizontal ray drawn on up there from our equal candle bodies, and it was our bounce zone. That's $4,205. We've got XRP requested as well. Let's get that one on the list. We did want to take a look at OKLO. That is one of our favorite stocks around here. It did get some news coming out the other day. It got a nice little earnings report. It doesn't make a whole lot of money just yet. It is in the production phase, making some new nuclear reactors. It has gotten a lot of money from the government, so not really producing a product just yet. The first nuclear reactors aren't expected to exist until about 2030, so a lot of time before they're actually making a product and actually producing something that will have them with earnings. We will just kind of have to see if that government's going to keep them afloat, because they've dumped a bunch of money into nuclear. That is the trend for now, especially with our higher energy demands. We called out a few levels towards the downside to keep your eye on for this. That first one was coming in at our 1618 there, $96.72. You can see here on the daily, we got that nice little wick to the golden pocket. We are sitting below our CME gap from way back here. It is closed, but it came in as some resistance here. We're trying to hold 108.94. That was our support underneath the CME gap there, before we got that push back through it and all the way up to our all-time highs. So trying to hold at 108.94. We are nice and cooled off here on the daily, getting that nice little bit of sideways momentum coming on in on the MACD. We've got that sideways coming in on that prime oscillator as well. Volume is a little low, but money flow's looking nice and green, and it has been for quite a while. So we are looking at a nice little buying opportunity here. I did do some buying back here on that golden pocket fib extension. I just set limit orders. I am potentially looking, if we don't hold 108.94, to come back down, really make another lower low there. Area I'm kind of keeping my eye on is $90.24. As you can see, it was our support below the golden pocket before we got that blast through it. So nice little area to keep your eye on there. The hourly is looking a little bit overheated as well. We are sitting in the green, ranging a little bit sideways, but money flows in the red. So nice little lower high. We are getting a higher low here. So a nice little squeeze. We'll kind of have to see if that money flow stays in the red there, because if it does stay in the red, that would mean a break towards the downside and another buying opportunity on OKLO. One of my favorite nuclear stocks. I also bought another nuclear stock the other day. I am sitting a little bit down on it, but definitely at an area where I was okay with doing some buying. That was the golden pocket on our fib extensions. That was coming in at $27.27. We did break towards the downside, really looking at closing out this CME gap there. So I'm not too worried. We do have that coming in at $25.44. Probably going to do a little more buying when we get down to that level. I would like to see us at least hold this range here. So below that CME gap is coming $24.14 for the 50% line. So that'd be the area to kind of watch us hold. We did get a lot of play on that level before we broke through it with some quickness. So definitely an area that would be nice to come back to and see us hold as some support. If we do break below that, I will get out of my position and look for a lower entry. We do have a few levels directly below that as well to kind of keep your eye on, and that's a way down here. We've got another CME gap. We would need to break the 382 first, coming in at $21.05. So a few levels towards the downside. We did get a massive sell-off, so not too unexpected after these strong moves towards the upside. But you normally buy dips and sell rips. So that's what I was doing there. We'll kind of have to see if we hold our levels there. That hourly is looking a little bit iffy, but we can definitely get that pushback towards the upside. As you get those bottoming indicators here on the prime oscillator, you've got a bullish divergence as well, just waiting on some money flow. I do expect some money flow to start coming back in at that $25.31 range to about $24.20. Pre-market is opening up directly where we closed yesterday, so not a massive move towards the downside. We've been seeing that hold quite steady. We'll kind of have to see if we close out that CME gap and then get some bouncing action. We'll do a little more buying on that one. We did have a few alt requests to take a look at. Jesse's asking for some Zora. Let's see what's going on some alts. We had IAG requested first, so let's get into that one. See what's going on. IAG. There we go. We were looking for some levels to kind of hold. We got that move towards the downside yesterday, so we did break below that. Saw it come in as some resistance. We are breaking below it right now as well. That was 12.29. Looking like it is going to be a level that we lose, but we are looking a little bit bottomy on the shorter term time frame. So let's take a look at those higher term time frames, see what's going on there. As you can see, we do have some nice higher lows coming on in. We are trying to make this as a little bit of a double bottom and then get that break above our 236 at 1273. Nice little area that we've been seeing us reject off of over and over. But we're nice and cooled off here on this 4 hour, just waiting on some money flow to come back in all over again. We did have these bearish divergences right before we got that stronger move towards the downside. Nice little area to kind of see us come back down to, and we'll have to see if we can get above that 236 to get that push back up to 1381. Let's get that looked at on the hourly here. Hourly is also looking a little bit toppy. We do have a bearish divergence coming on in. Volume starting to peak back up, so we'll kind of have to see if we hold our lows back here at 1189. If we don't hold that, looking a little bit lower might be what you would watch for there. So let's get that horizontal ray drawn on up here. That is our short-term time frame area. We will get this one deleted there because it looks like it is no longer really the level to watch for. So 11 91 would be that area to kind of see if we hold all over again with all of the sell-off this morning. If we don't hold our highs from back here at 1224, is an area that we'll probably end up losing. As you can see, we've got some strong sell-off, bearish divergence curving over on that MACD and prime oscillator. We'll kind of have to see if that increase of volume comes with increased selling pressure as well. To see that nice little cool off there, come back to our strong support might be the move to watch for. You are looking just a little bit bottom on the 15-minute, so could be looking for a little bit of a bounce first, a stronger rejection off of 1274 before we get that move towards the downside and our strong support area. We've got French Toaster in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see, that was Igon. Let's take a look at a few of those other requests now. We had XRP on that list. We were calling out some levels for some resistance on XRP. That was $2.52. That is where we got our rejection off of yesterday. And then we continued towards the downside there. Let's get that pulled on up on the 4 hour, see what's going on there. Nice and bottomed here, so we definitely do have the ability to see a little more sell off this morning before we really start seeing some of these moves play out. We will have to get above 252 before we start seeing some stronger moves towards the upside, though. That is our very strong resistance. You can see all of the rejections off of it here, those equal candle bodies. Let's get it zoomed in a little more. There we go. Equal candle body rejections, equal candle body rejections, equal candle body rejections. That is a level from way back there. Looks like it might have been a point of control. We do have that coming in as a little bit of some resistance this morning. We are seeing a little bit of some sell off right now. We will kind of have to see if we can get that bouncing action all over again on $2.47. That is an area where we saw plenty of rejections off of. We've got those nice equal candle bodies on it. We got that nice bouncing action off of it as well before we saw some continued sell off. Hourly is looking just a little bit iffy here. We've got that curvature back down on that MACD, prime oscillator as well. Volume starting to increase, so we'll kind of have to see if that increase of volume comes here with increased selling pressure, or if we get that switch up of money flow on the shorter term time frame that really bleeds over into the higher term time frame. If we lose 247, we've got an area down here at about 244 that I would keep my eye on for some bouncing. Looks like that one's not going to be our area anymore. Let's get this 244 drawn on out for you for our secondary bounce zone. If we lose 247, that's where we got our very equal candle bodies off of. Nice little area to potentially see some bouncing at. After we got that move above it, really retest on that, turn it into some support, and then try to get that move back up to 252 and our strong resistance. We do have that 15-minute looking a little bit bottomy here, but we're not seeing any reversal signals starting to flash just yet. We do have that bearish divergence as well. We will kind of have to see if that gives us a stronger push towards the downside, or if we get that nice little cool off directly on 247. This isn't ranging sideways like Bitcoin was, but could definitely see some bouncing as well if we get that stronger cool off and some money flow coming back in. If we don't hold 244, it doesn't look very pretty. So keep your eye on that 244 to see if we get that bouncing there if we lose 247. That was XRP. Let's take a look at some Solana, see what's going on there. Let's see, we got Omar Hassan in the chat. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Kadena up 500% over the last, Jesus. Some of those alts. Let's see what's going on with some Solana. If we got some time, we can take a look at Kadena as well. We were looking for an area towards the upside here. We got that nice strong sell off. Got below 154. We saw that come in as some resistance, and we're sitting above 154.83 now. We do have the 50% line coming in as some resistance. We'll kind of have to see what's going on that higher term time frame first, and then see if we can get that continuation towards the upside. We do have a little bit of a zone to keep our eye on here. If we don't hold at 154.83, we've called out 147.90 plenty of times here. That is where we got our bouncing action back here, back here. We'll kind of have to see if we can get our bouncing action on top of that all over again. This is an area that we've been keeping our eye on. It is the bottom side of this range here. We do have the point of control coming in pretty much on the 50% line. We'll get this one deleted there. 50% line being the area where we saw the most volume interacting with, and we'll kind of have to see if we get that move towards the top side of it and then get above what would be our local resistance. Now let's get this unlocked, get this moved to those equal candle bodies. So we would need to get above a 160.12 to really see that continuation towards the top side of our range at 168. Let's see what's going on the hourly. 4 hour is looking nice and bottomed. We would need to see some money flow coming back in. We do see that hourly looking just a little bit iffy there, as it is getting that move towards the upside. We've got some strong selling pressure to contend with, so to see a little bit of a move above our local resistance at 156 to get that rejection off of the 50% line might be what we watch for this morning, and then we'll see if we make that move all the way back down to 154, unless we have that strong continuation of money flow that's really bleeding over into the higher term time frame. As you can see here, we're looking nice and bottomed on that selling pressure. We're just needing some bleed over into our higher term time frames. 4 hour was looking nice and bottomed, so we can definitely continue even if we look a little bit toppy on that hourly. Let's get that 15-minute pulled on up there, see what's going on there. We're trying to continue with those higher lows. We really need to break above our local resistance and above the 50 to really see that continuation of trend. If not, seeing this MACD get that curvature and sideways momentum there, and that prime oscillator as well, could give us a little bit of some cool off. So a nice little move above our highs, really reject off of 157, and then get that push back down would give you that cool off on the hourly and the shorter term time frame as well. That would give you that confluence with all the way from the 4 hour down to get that stronger push towards the upside and get above 160 there. So that would be that upside target I would kind of watch for. If we can get that cool off here and then get that move back towards the upside. We do have Solana that we just did. Cadena, let's see if we got some time for that. So let's get that on the list real quick, and then we will see what's going on with some Zora. That was coming from Jesse. Let's see what's going on. Apparently I put it on the list, so I know which one to take a look at. Let's get this zoomed on out, see what's going on some Zora. We do have that 236 coming in as some resistance. We will kind of have to see if we can hold some of the lows from back here, because it does look like we will lose the highs here. We are breaking below our equal candle bodies there, and we are below all of the wicking action as well. So let's get that horizontal rate drawn up for the bottom side to kind of look for some bouncing action at. All the equal candle bodies and wicks coming in about 0.5824. That'd be a nice little area to see some continued cool off there. You do have that prime oscillator looking a little bit toppy. You did get that nice little reversal signal, a flash before that move up to our 236. Looking like we're rejecting off of that, and we're seeing those topping signals come in all over again on that 4 hour. Let's see what's going on the hourly there. Hourly has some nice little indicators for some continued sell-off there. We are getting that roll over on the MACD, smaller candles on that histogram, and we're not seeing some continuation of money flow here either. Our volume is looking nice and strong. As that money flow kind of wanes, would be looking for that pickup of selling pressure. That is a nice little 1 hour fair value gap we need to keep our eye on. So let's get that rectangle drawn on up for you from our wick to our candle body top, because there's no wick down there. Let's get that locked for you. And there you go. Nice little bounce zone would be the midline of that fair value gap, coming in at about 0.6067. So we're trying to hold that fair value gap top right now. This morning we got that nice little bounce off of it. As soon as we dipped into the fair value gap, we started to see a little bit of buying pressure stepping on in, but we are seeing quite the slow up on that buying pressure. So to look for us to break into that fair value gap like we're doing right now, and to see that bounce on the midline to hold our bullish structure would be that move to watch for. If we don't hold that bullish structure and the midline, looking all the way back down towards the bottom might be the move to watch for there. That's coming in at about 0.558. So we would have to lose our support area at 0.58824 to come back and close out that fair value gap there. Let's see what's going on with that 15 minute looking nice and bottomed here. We're trying to push back up above our fair value gap. Looking like you're seeing quite a bit of selling pressure stepping on in above that though. So we'll kind of have to see what's going on with that money flow. It is nice and slowed up here as well. We are starting to see a few bottoming indicators come on in, but we do have a hidden divergence, and we will kind of have to see if we need some continued cool off with how that hourly was looking to see a little bit of bouncing action, not too unexpected. As we try to hold the top side, we will get that break back into the fair value gap and try to test back on that midline. That is what happens over and over on these gaps. That is why I like to draw that midline, because if you hold the 50% line on our fair value gaps, you get that move towards the upside. If you are below it, you get that break towards the 50% line on that fair value gap, and you reject off of it, you continue bearish. So that would be that nice area I'd look to hold there. That was Zora for you. Let's see what's going on with Edena, Edena, and not sure which one it would be there. Probably one of those. Eden. I'm not sure if that's the one. Edena, because none of those tickers are lining up. Let's see. Maybe this one. I'm guessing it's Eden though. Eden. Okay. So let's take a look at this one here. Nice strong move towards the upside. Jesus. Let's see what's going on that higher term time frame. Nice strong move directly towards resistance. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that continuation above it. Nice strong volume coming on in. The one on Binance. Okay. Eden. Binance. Down here. All right. Oh. Better looking chart. I like those candle bodies a little bit more. It doesn't look as scammy. Nice and bottomed here. We've got our nice strong support down below us, coming in at 103. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn on out there. That is where we get a lot of touches off of. And we'll kind of have to see if we can break above our local resistance. We've got quite a bit of resistance above us. Let's get that fib pulled on up for our local time frames though. We've got that low to the high We are trying to hold that 50% right now. That is where we're looking for a little bit of bouncing action. That'd be a continuation of trend here, high or low on that macro time frame. We got that nice little bounce off of the golden pocket. We got that rejection off of the 236 there, looking to hold the 50. We are getting a little bit of a curvature here on that hourly, so we'll kind of have to see if we can get some continuation of money flow there. Let's see what's going on the 4 hour. I'm assuming that's nice and cooled off like the rest of everything was. It is getting a little bit of a curvature back down. We will kind of have to see if we can get some continuation of money flow here, because money flow is sitting in the green here on the 4 hour. We just need that continuation from the shorter term time frame to the higher term time frame. We are getting that curvature on the prime oscillator, so we will kind of have to see if we get a little continuation off of the 50% line and dip a little bit lower down to 1117. That is where we got our equal candle bodies there. So short-term time bounce area to see us get a little bit of a bounce on. If we don't hold that 50% line, that is where we got our bounce this morning. Let's get that hourly pulled back up here. We are seeing quite a bit of toppiness here. That money flows in the red, but it has slowed up quite a bit. To see that secondary bounce on the 50% line might be the move to watch for. I'd look just a little bit lower there where we got those equal candle bodies with that higher term time frame. 15-minute, trying to see a little bit of bouncing action, but that money flow's coming back out. So we did see that true 7 clip on out. We've got a hidden divergence here, and we will kind of have to see if we can get that continuation towards the upside off of the 50 all over again, as that prime oscillator is nice and bottomed. But with how that hourly was looking, could definitely continue just a little bit lower, really get that strong bounce on 1117, and then get that pushback towards the upside. If you don't hold 1117, we do have some levels down here where we got a lot of bouncing at 1102. We'll get that drawn on out for you. That's where we got several bounces off of back here. We got a bounce there, a bounce here. We got those equal candle bodies on top of it. A lot of buying pressure underneath there. We got that bounce there as well. So looking just a little bit iffy on those higher term time frames, and we'll have to see if we can get that hold up here on the shorter term time frame. That was Adina. Let's see what's going on with Kadena. Let's see what has better history. Nice little move towards the upside there. Struggling to really get above the lows from back here though. Not too unexpected. Let's see. Kadena on the other one. Does it have better history? Mexi. Nope. Different one. A little bit better history. As you can see, quite the sell-off there. That would be a massive fair value gap. Let's see what's going on here on the hourly. See if we can get that move towards the upside there. Struggling to really break above our resistance here. That is going to be 06894. I see Silver Days XRP in the house. Good morning to you. I won't have time to take a look at some ZBEC this morning. It is almost time to wind the show on down there. So we do have this level coming on in 08473. Let's get that as a higher term time frame level. And then we've got this area down here where we're going to try to get back up to. So 06942. That is that first area to kind of watch for some resistance as we're trying to see that little bit of sideways momentum coming on in. really seeing a lot of toppiness here. So we do have a peak seeker coming on in. We've got a bearish divergence as well. We'll kind of have to see if we get that move back above 00682 with a continuation of money flow, because money flow is just starting to come back in here on the hourly there. So really watch that shorter term time frame. Not too unexpected. Things are looking quite similar across the board. Getting that break towards the upside here on the 4 hour, but unlike the rest of everything, it is looking a little bit toppy here on the 4 hour. You've got your secondary reversal signal. You've got a bearish divergence coming in as well. So 0.06942 might be our resistance area that gives us a push towards the downside, and then we would have to see if we get some bouncing at about 0.5998. That's where we saw all of our resistance back here. We'll make that a short-term time frame level. We're trying to break above it right now, and then we'll see if we can get that continuation move towards the upside. I'm not sure if that was the right project there, but that was KDA. That's what came up when I typed Kadena. It is 6:30 though, and time to wind the show on down. I appreciate every one of you tuning on in. We got Meetin' One Florin coming on in here. Good morning to you. And we've got Sassy Academy in here as well. Good morning. Hope y'all are having a great day. BC loves his poop coins. No, y'all love the poop coins. I just like doing TA. So y'all got some crazy requests that I've never heard of. So hopefully y'all are making some money, because it looks like we're seeing quite the sell-off. We've got quite a bit of resistance we need to get above to get that continuation move towards the upside. Things are starting to align. If we get just a little bit of cool off, and then we can really get those stronger moves towards the upside. So look for a little bit of volatility, and then see if that New York session can give us some strong buying pressure coming on in to really reverse that back towards the levels we were looking at the other day. We got a few viewers over on X. Appreciate y'all tuning on in. Make sure to tune into the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy. We've got 3 shows that we do daily. That morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That is the place to be if you love the breakdown of your macro data. I'm sure that Piper will have a lot to talk about this morning. We were seeing some rumblings coming out of the federal government last night. We will see if anything came to fruition on that. We've got Trading with OC at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Great place to be if you like to make some money, you like to trade, or you like to put on a tinfoil hat. I agree with Fredman. He said just buy Bitcoin. You know, it's easy. You know, you buy Bitcoin, you don't sell, and you buy more Bitcoin. And it's very easy. Over the long time, you'll do extremely well. But however you like to make your money, make your money. Until next time, though, wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Wake up, let's run it. Charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hands strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready. We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we go.
just flips and vibes, turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rides. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. Oh! 3 a.m. we rise, we go. Good morning crypto, steal the show. GM get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning crypto, press play.